بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد. We continue with the study of the book of Imam Ahmad, Al-Imam Ibn Hazm, rahimahullah ta'ala. We continue with the part that where we was speaking about Al-Kadhibu, the lying. Mutawallidun min al-jawri. Lying, it arouses from unfairness, from injustice. Wal-jubni wal-jahli. Wal-jubni, cowardice, wal-jahli, ignorance. لأن الجبن يولد مهانة النفس والكذاب مهين النفس. Indeed, cowardice, what it result or like what it causes, مهانة النفس. مهانة النفس is like the humiliation of the self. For someone, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, to debase oneself, to belittle, or to have himself or herself being, subject to humiliation and so on. And the liar is that the characteristic of a liar is to be such. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. بَعِيدٌ مِنْ عِزَّتِهَا الْمَحْمُودَةِ, very far from, honoring, the appropriate way, how someone need to treat themselves by honoring them, but the kadhab will be the opposite of that, is humiliating his own self. Then يقول رأيت الناس في كلامهم الذي هو فصل بينهم وبين الحمير والكلاب والحشرات ينقسمون أقساما ثلاثة. I have seen people in their way of speaking, communicating, and the communication is what makes the difference between the human being and the animals. And we're talking about, the beast, the dogs, all the types of, subhanAllah, of the animals. And the communication and the way, the ability to speak is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, only given to the human being. As a matter of fact, is one of the great tools provide to the human being to be able to fulfill the mission of vicegerency. And this mission of vicegerency in a way like managing, in a sort to preserve and maintain the order of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which order will help the whole creature in this universe to find their well-being. Therefore, maintaining the order in the universe is only can be fulfilled through the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The shirk is the action which can fully corrupt the whole order of the whole universe. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala قال ولئن اتبع الحق أهواءهم لفسدت السماوات والأرض ومن فيهن. If the truth had followed their path, then you will find the whole heaven and the earth and whatever between them will go ruined or corrupted. Therefore, the ability to speak is the ability to communicate, is ability to come together, to plan, to work, and to fulfill whatever required to maintain the order. One of the order is the justice, of course, the social justice. And when you look at the Sharia in all its, in its generality, that is the way how to maintain the order. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first thing that He taught the Adam, He taught him al-asma. Al-asma, the word. وعلم الله سبحانه قال علم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين. When they were, the angels kind of not arguing in a way, not wanting to have this new creation. The angel, they only know one thing, is the submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It hurt the angel to see a new creation that is going to be vowed to really, in a way, conflict with the veneration of Allah, and will be, instead of being grateful, will be ungrateful. That's how they experienced that they had about with the jinn. قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء إلى آخره, to the end of the ayah, and he will be shedding blood. And وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ, and we are those who are praising you, Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, glorifying you, and so on. قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون. I know what you do not know. Then he taught Adam al-Asma. So the teaching of the Adam of the Asma is these words. Is these words and the ability to speak and the ability to communicate and ability to have by the help of Allah and the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to have the hand over all the other creation through the reason, the mind, and the way of communication that is, subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made subservient to us everything around us, but the way, the tools, how can someone have to benefit and guide them and use them is through what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestow on us from the mind and the speaking, and the speaking is part of is this, this reasoning aspect. So that's why they call, the philosopher before, they call al-insanu hayawanun natiqun, an animal, speaking animal. So the speaking is not something, kind of an attribute like something, little or like not important. Actually, the speaking what make the human being to be human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Ar-Rahman, علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. علمه البيان, he taught him the way to express, to clarify. When someone is writing a report, for example, an engineer, he's going to write a report on how this, building is going to sustain, how the maintenance needed. So whole thing, that expression, bayan. The bayan of a doctor, concerning, a certain, after examining a person sick, he give you whole bayan. And through this bayan, people, they're going to follow it, they're going to, take the recommendation of this doctor to seeking the healing with the help of Allah and the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so on. So the word is part of this gift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the human being to fulfill this vicegerency on earth. Making the words as a gift, then it need to be subject to praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this gift, and praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this gift with these words in the way that they should be. For this reason, we have the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that a person can utter a word, causing the wrath of Allah, making this person be thrown in the hellfire 70 years. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ قَالَ لَا يَتَكَلَّمُ الْمَرْءُ بِكَلِمَةٍ مِّنْ غَضَبِ اللَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى تَهْوِي بِهِ فِي جَهَنَّمَ 70 خَرِيفًا. As the same thing, in the other, on the other side, that a person can speak a word from the pleasure of Allah that have him to have the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from now, from leaving this dunya. يَبْلُغُ بِهَا رِضَى اللَّهِ وَلَا مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى. So there's three types of people that we need to check ourselves to see, to which type we are belonging. He said, now that we know the difference, we know the importance of the communication, and we know the importance of the words. And if you're going to talk about that, all of you, mashallah, you know this importance. But the last thing that I remind myself and remind you, that the Prophet ﷺ said to Mu'adh, قال, when he told him, are you going to be held accountable of what we're saying? And when the Prophet ﷺ held his tongue, he told him, أمسك عنك هذا, abstain this one, take care, be watchful of this, your tongue. قال وما يكب الناس على وجوههم يوم القيامة إلا في نار جهنم إلا حصائد ألسنتهم. What make people to be thrown on the fire والعياذ بالله on their faces, except the harvest of their tongues. So this is how important are the words. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا. Or you believe, fear Allah, and say rightful words. Say right words with objective. Sadida, something that when you say something is beneficial, that's objective. You're going to enjoy good, to forbid evil, give a good advice. Then if you don't have such a thing, you should keep silent. وَقُولُوا قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا. If you choose your words in the right way, and you only utter words with an objective helping you in this journey of your life, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will correct your deeds. Then Allah make your action to be righteous. يُصْلِحْ لَكُمْ أَعْمَالَكُمْ. And He will forgive you. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, indicating that these words need to be kind of derived from طاعة الله ورسوله. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, and whoever who obey Allah and His Messenger, فَقَدْ فَازَ فَوْزًا عَظِيمًا. Indeed, he had achieved the greatest of success, and so on. So يقول لنا أن الناس ينقسمون أقساما ثلاثة. People are divided three types. القسم الأول من لا يبالي فيما أنفق كلاه. The first category, they don't care how they waste or they أنفق is spent. أنفق, and he used the النفقة. It's like someone has words, and these words are gems, are pearls, are gold, and subhanallah, he spent them whatever. قال أنفق كلامه لا يبالي. He does not care where he going to put his words. He just whatever comes to his mind, he just put it on his tongue. فيتكلم بكل ما يسبق إلى لسانه. He speaks with whatever comes to his tongue. Comes to his mind, subhanallah, and something, and he speaks, he get it out. You take your time, just have your tongue to just make it a little bit heavy, so just to weigh the word that you're going to say. Maybe this word is going to, subhanallah, throw you in hellfire. قال فيتكلم بكل ما يسبق إلى لسانه غير محقق نصر حق ولا إنكار باطل, without trying to kind of emphasize or check if this word is going to say is going to support the truth, is going to give a proof of an evidence for a case that you want to support and help because it's the truth, or are you going to deny and something munkar, helping in rejecting something that is ill deed or misdeed? قال لا يبالي, he does not care. وهذا هو الأغلب في الناس, and this is the majority among the people. Unfortunately, this is the majority among the people. And you see them, subhanallah, and we have like whole industry today, they making money after the based on the vain talk, gossip, vain talk, news. Allah, even nothing, something if it happened, and the most shocking, even they have, for example, they said eyewitness news. And the eyewitness news of today is like a cat, is on the tree, and everybody trying to get it out, down. And it belongs to the one of the neighbor. And I have a whole team of news. They go to filming that and they put it on the news. I mean, all of us, we love cats. But not to make it in the news and to make it like something that it is the news of today. When in the whole part of the world, people are being killed and people are being, subhanallah, oppressed, and nobody will talk to you about it. So these are the words like make someone, subhanallah, to kind of twist in their reality and become a stranger to their own themselves. Someone is like, subhanallah, Allah gave you this gift to say the truth, to enjoy good, to forbid evil, and people, they use it for anything, future thing. One of the greatest characteristics of the believer, that as one of its, kind of, subhanallah, effect of the taqwa. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. Focus in the prayer and they turn away from the lagh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala complimented the people who had the book before the Prophet ﷺ, and when they came to the Prophet ﷺ and they listened to their mind and they listened to the Quran, that's it, they accepted Islam. So they came to the Prophet ﷺ in Mecca, and they were like wearing type of their clothes like the monks they wear, very thick, wool, and they have their canes, and they came in, entering Mecca. It was very strange to see them. So they said, where is this person who claiming he's a prophet? So everybody is laughing. You come to Al-Ghulam, they call him the Ghulam, the kid. The Prophet ﷺ, after 40 years, and they still call him the kid, Al-Ghulam. So then when they found him, and this narration is in Mecca, because there's another narration, they said they came to him in Medina. Those who came in Medina, Allah mentioned them in Surah Al-Ma'idah, and those here, they mentioned them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Surah Al-Qasas. So they came, and they heard the Quran from the Prophet ﷺ. قالوا آمنا به إنه الحق من ربنا. This is, we believe in it. This is the truth from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Indeed, we've been already Muslim. So when they were leaving, in tears, these people are true pious. The people of Quraysh, they were mocking them. He told them, are you following this crazy person? I mean, you should, hold on your deen better than his deen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, look how they reacted. قال وإذا سمعوا اللغو أعرضوا عنه وقالوا سلام عليكم لا نبتغي الجاهلين لنا أعمالنا ولكم أعمالكم سلام عليكم لا نبتغي الجاهلين. This is the words. They are mocking them because they are ignorant. They said, we don't seek to do any, talk with people who do not know what we know. That's one. Peace to you. You have your own action, you have your own deeds, you have your own way, and we have our own way. لا نبتغي الجاهلين. Leave us alone. This is words, subhanallah. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the believer, He make عباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلام. When being addressed by the ignorant one, and the ignorant one, those who do not know the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He might be the greatest scientist in the world. If he does not know the rights of Allah, he's an ignorant. When the people they talk to, he says salama, peace. So this is the majority of the people. والثاني أن يتكلم ناصرا لما وقع في نفسه أنه حق ودافعا لما توهم أنه باطل. That's the second category of people. When they speak always, they're defending themselves to justify what they're saying. They believe in what they're saying is the truth, and they are trying to refuting things that they believe it's falsehood. And these people are arrogant because they are driven by those or arrogance, and they are looking down to the people, and the only truth that they know is their own interpretation of the reality. That is their only truth. Why? Because these people are sick. These people are arrogant. As Fir'aun قال ما أريكم ما أرى ما أريكم إلا ما أرى وما أهديكم إلا سبيل الرشاد. I only show you what I see, and I only guide you to the right path. And the right path of Fir'aun, it was to be drowned in the sea. That's the right path. That is arrogance, that is tyranny, and this is a lot of people like that. قال وهذا كثير وهو دون الأول. These are a lot, but less than but they are in other category than the other people. So the other people, like the majority of the people, subhanAllah, they speak about everything. والثالث, the third category that we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to be among them, and the third category that inshallah we should be striving to be among them. قال واضع الكلام في موضعه, the one who put the words in their right spot. And this this definition has two elements in it: justice and wisdom. Al-wisdom is the way how to use and manage the knowledge, that this knowledge or these words, you put them where they do belong. And the justice is to put things where they do belong. So here is like you are bringing together justice and wisdom when you put your words where they do belong. And to put the words where they do belong, you have to have an objective. You only speak with an objective. When you're going to say something, you know what you're going to say because you want to communicate and express something. But speak without having anything in your mind that you're going to say. Just speak. وَهَذَا أَعَزُّ مِنَ الْكِبْرِيتِ. For them, أَعَزُّ مِنَ الْكِبْرِيتِ. This is very rare. This is very rare. For this, for us, as a reminder today, this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called al-qawl al-sadid. Look, many people, they will be in hellfire because of what they said. كبرت كلمة تخرج من أفواههم إن يقولون إلا كذبا. Those who said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a child. His words. Those who are mocking the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his words. Those who are backbiting, his words. Those who slandered Sayyidah Aisha, their words. So if you go through across the Quran, through the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, most of the major sins are words. The shirk is words. They said it with their tongues. Qawl al-zur is words. False testimony is words. You know, and so on. So you'll find most of the action that's leading someone, subhanAllah, to ruin are words. For this reason, the piety starts by the words, by someone watching what they say. As a matter of fact, Allah called it light, nur, nur. In Surah An-Nur, when He was talking about Surah An-Nur, one of the big things that leads people to hellfire, waliyadu billah, is to talk ill about, a chaste, believing woman. إن الذين يرمون المحصنات الغافلات المؤمنات لعنوا في الدنيا والآخرة. They've been cursed in this life and the akhirah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring them for their tongue to witness against them. To witness against them. فنسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى. There is a lot of words, to say about that. But as we have said, 20 minutes, inshallah, which we already passed it. فَجَزَاكُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا for your patience. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those who listen to the reminder and follow the best of it. اللهم اجعلنا من الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. If you have any question,